So we're coming up on that season when people make their New Year's resolution. I always, each year when I was younger, would make my New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to spend more time at the gym, or I'm going to go get a gym membership. So there was always this time of year when I started thinking about, okay, in 2025, this coming year, I'm going to do these things. Well, I can tell you now that I'm older, I hate New Year's resolutions. And I think the reason I hate them so much is because I really never stuck with them. I can remember times when I would go get that gym membership, and by the time we reached late January, mid-February, I would come up with excuses for reasons not to go there. So it would end up being frustrating, and I was spending money on something that I just wasn't using. So I think that's why I dislike them so much. But in this quick video, I want to give you one thing to strive for next year. One thing. And this thing will give you a chance. I'm not saying it will. It'll give you a chance at better health in a couple of different ways. And simply that is starting a garden. And I know the moment you hear me say starting a garden, you think of how complicated it may be and all the things I need to know. And I don't have a green thumb. And if I could tell you one thing, if I could dispel one myth in this channel, and that's what I call the green thumb syndrome. I just don't have a green thumb. And the truth of the matter is, gardening is not complicated. Well, I've said this in probably a dozen of my videos, is we have sunshine, we have water, we have compost, we have seeds, and we're pretty much ready to go. It's not a whole lot more complicated than that. And the thing I'll tell you, when you start a garden, it doesn't have to be a big project and it doesn't have to be a big area. If you have a very small backyard, 10 by 10 or 20 by 20, you would be amazed at the amount of food and crops you can get off a very small area. I have to give Charles Dowding, if you ever check out his channel on YouTube, in Great Britain, they call it dig or no dig. And each year, I think he's been doing it for about 12 years, he takes one little plot that's no dig and he takes one that's dig, which here we say till, no till. And he will measure how much comes off of each. And each year, the no till, no dig does better than the dig, which is not surprising. When the soil is undisturbed, it does better. But the part that surprises me on this very small test plot, the amount of pounds of food and vegetables that come off an extremely small area. And we see it out here as well. I'm always amazed on one of these 50-foot rows, they're 30 inches wide, 50 foot long, how much we harvest off of a single row out here on this acre of this market garden. So if I could tell you one thing, and don't make this a resolution, just make it something that you want to try for 2025. And that's take a small part of your backyard, again, it can be 20 by 20, 10 by 10, and go in, set your beds. We have a whole different discussion, a whole different video on starting new beds, and we will do that again this spring. But go up, set up your beds, put out your compost, and plant those vegetables, or even those different types of, maybe it's blackberries or strawberries, those fruits and vegetables that you like. And the vegetables or the fruits may not be ready that year, but they may be ready the following year. So it can be something that can help you long term. So this, I can tell you, if you start a garden, you're going to have food that you can absolutely guarantee that it is organic. There's a lot of great grocery stores out there that sell organic food. I see it all the time. And I'm not saying that it is not truly organic, but I will tell you this, the one thing you can absolutely know that your vegetables are 100% organic is when you raise them. You know that not a single chemical was put on them for you, yourself, or your family. So that's the first thing, is you're going to have a food chain, something in your backyard, and will it be 100% effective? Will you be able to feed your family 100%? Absolutely not. These gardens are going to bring you a supplemental amount of vegetables, things that you may not have to go buy at the grocery store because you have it in your backyard. Here at Whirlwind Family Farm, we have vegetables for ourselves about 8 to 9 months out of the year. We don't have them year round because we're in a zone where we cannot grow everything year round. So we shop at the grocery store as well. But I'll tell you, for the coming year, you can have a large part of your food which was raised by yourself. You know it doesn't have chemicals on it. That's one big advantage in the new year right there. And then the next one is you're going to spend a little time outside. Instead of like I do, I'll get my iPad out and before I know it, 45 minutes has gone by and I've just looked at a lot of nothing and I should have been outside doing something. And it can be the same for you. If you have a small garden, it's a time, and you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can go out twice a week and water. You can go out once a week and hand weed or hoe weed and get rid of weeds. Not hard to do at all. And then once your plants start to mature and you actually see that there's squash and there's tomatoes or there's carrots, then you can go out once a week and harvest for you and your family. If you're in a small apartment and you have a balcony, you can have containers and grow things in containers on your balcony. So the bottom line is, for the coming year, the one thing I want to tell you is, even if it's a small garden and you don't put a lot of effort into it, at least you're going to be growing something, you're going to spend time outside, and you're going to have a little bit of your food supply that's going to be absolutely organic, raised by you, right there in your backyard. And along the way, you're going to be outside enjoying sunshine, getting a little exercise, and not just doom scrolling like it's easy for all of us to do in this day and time. So blessings over you for the new coming year. Think about starting that garden. You can go and buy seeds just about anywhere. Our last video we did was on purchasing seeds, but wherever you get them, just go get your seeds, start your garden. Don't make it complicated. Don't worry about if you make mistakes. There will be mistakes. We make them out here at Whirlwind Family Farm. It's just a part of gardening. But just start, and you'll be surprised how well you do. We have a lot of videos on our channel, so we're so glad you found us. You can go through and see a lot of the techniques that we do that can take you further down that learning process of gardening, which again is not that complicated. So check out our different videos. Our next video, we're going to have one here that YouTube suggests, and there'll be another one on the screen that's our last one. So we hope you'll check those out. Thanks from Whirlwind Family Farm. Blessings over you, your family, your new garden in 2025. Talk to you soon.